Writers, often the climax of the story, and then also the following action and the resolution, lead to some kind of character change, and usually that character change teaches the reader some kind of theme. I want to teach you today 4 different techniques to develop character change and theme in the climax and really throughout the story. The 4 techniques we're going to talk about are really signposts. They're words that you plant into the text to make your reader see the character having an aha moment. Or you can use the again and again technique by using repetition to show a theme. You can also use words of the wiser. This is where someone older and hopefully wiser gives the main character some advice. And then the last one we're going to talk about is memory moment, where the character thinks back to some memory that serves as a catalyst for some kind of realization or recognition on the part of the main character that leads to a theme. Let's look at an example of an aha moment from the story Fear by Terry Truman. An aha moment is when the character has a sudden realization, and usually there are some signal words like, he realizes and flashes in an instant, or I suddenly realized, or it occurred to me. An academic word for this is an epiphany. When the character has an aha moment and the reader reads those signal words, they think, oh wait, once he realized this, something's going to change for the character. And in this story, as soon as Zoe realizes that he'd rather be dead than this afraid, if he'd rather be dead, then he really has nothing at all to lose. And that's where he digs down and gets some courage and tells the intruders he's going to call the robbers. Because he had this realization, what does it matter? I'd rather be dead than this afraid. Another technique writers use is repetition. We call this the move again and again. When an author repeats a line or refers to an image, an object, or an idea again and again, the reader usually asks, why is this important? Why does this keep coming up? In Fear by Terry Truman, Zoe says the line again and again, I'd rather be dead than this afraid. By the time he gets to the last one, something inside his chest has happened. Something like he's able to breathe again and he's able to think, and now he's angry. I'd rather be dead, he whispers. And that's the point right then where he's really able to call the police. But Truman has extended the climax. He's stretched it out by having him think it several times. The next technique is called words of the wiser. Here you use the words of an older, wiser person, or even a wiser peer, a friend or mentor, to offer advice to the main character or to give the main character some encouragement or words of comfort. So in our story that Ms. Maxwell and I are writing about Sarah going babysitting at the Jensens, remember when her mother dropped her off, her mother told her to call her if she needed anything. Toddlers are tough, you know, my mother warns. They can really get into a lot of trouble. I shrug at her offer and think, how hard can it be? Well, later on it turns out to be quite difficult, and she needs to call her mom to come over and help rescue her. And she says in that phone call, these two are a nightmare. So when her mother comes over and she sits on the couch, she says, it sounds like it's been quite a night for you, honey. You tried to warn me, I admitted. I thought it was going to be easy. I thought I was ready for this. You are ready for this, Sarah, and next time it will be easier. You'll see. Next time. As if I wish I could believe her, but I wasn't sure there would be a next time. But still, so what's happening here is her mother is giving her some words of comfort, that it will be easier another time. Also, Sarah is realizing that her mother actually gave her some words of wisdom in the beginning, that this really was going to be harder than she thought. You'll notice there's a little bit of again and again because she's referring back to this idea that toddlers can be nightmares. And so we set that up in the beginning so we could return to it with her mother giving her some words of wisdom at the end. Another technique that works in a similar way is memory moment. This technique has you have the character thinking back to some memory from earlier in their life. It might be from just earlier in the story, as here, where Sarah is remembering what her mother told her as she was beginning the job, but it also can be going back farther in their life, a memory of a special time with a grandparent or a friend or a parent, and something that makes them realize something that they've just learned. You're probably thinking there's a lot of overlap here. Sometimes the aha moment comes because someone has said something to them, an older, wiser person, or because they'd remember something from the past. Sometimes either words of the wiser or memory moments are referred to again and again, and these lead to aha moments. So use some combination of these techniques to develop character change and theme in your story.